you doing, mate?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah,
It's good to be outside.
Yeah.
It's a little bit nippy, but not too dark.
We get used to it,
Get
don't we?
used to it, yeah. I mean, how many times has winter come around?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
We always complain, hot, cold, whatever it is.
Typical
we do.
English behaviour.
That's it.
But we are here, Stratford High Street.
Yeah.
The rest of the High Street is just down this road. And we've got a lot of interesting stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
particularly
we do.
like your experiences on this place.
Yeah.
Zap lines.
Yeah, Zap Space.
Zap Space.
Yeah, Zap Space.
What it used to be.
Yeah, what it used to be. Well, it's called the Rex. And do you know what? This whole high street has got a history of different little pieces of my life. But one of these buildings holds, a really big, deep one. And it's basically a story about my grandma. Rex used to be something that the Caribbean scene, the African scene, used to love. It used to be a place of like...
Always used to be a Nigerian Independence Day celebrations there. So that's how I remember it. And Ghanaian Independence Day as well. Yeah.
And there was so much energy, vibes. We used to cut off the whole street, barbecues, people playing music. You would see the girls. I mean, I was only young, but you could see how pretty they were, like in different colours and stuff like that. It was always vibrant. So I always, as a kid, like, ooh, I wonder when I could go there. But by the time I did get older, it had been closed down. One of the issues were it had a lot of different like situations, and one of them was my grandma. She got knocked over down the street. She had an accident, and it was a big change for her. She was a very pretty woman, and it kind of like disfigured her face a bit, and it started like a kind of downhill thing. But it's so this building and this area has so much history to my family and stuff like that. I've had good, bad, and ugly different things that has happened here, and so it's a pleasure to like be in this EastEnders effects and be able to show the people kind of the history, my history, and the history of Stratford, because I think this town has grown so much, and we were going to talk about the history and stuff like that, and it's so interesting. Just the unique development of this area and stuff like that, and how now I fit in, and our culture does, and the people that are here, some are old, some are new, and stuff like that. And it's really interesting because I've been in the community so long, so I spoke to many different people, some old people that could tell you some stories about Stratford and stuff like that when it wasn't as plush, But,
it's changed.
Yeah, it definitely has. It definitely has.
And so like, as a place of community and like entertainment and nightlife, like what do you think has happened now that like this place is changed a little bit? Yeah, and particularly for your family that were like here for generations type thing as well.
Yeah. I mean, if I take a step back, this area basically used to be a farm area. So we had a lot of...
So obviously like this place used to be a place of entertainment, nightlife, community, people coming together, and it's changed. So it's now like Zap Space for kids, which serves a different part of the community. For the people that you wanted to come here for entertainment and nightlife, and for your family generations that have been here, like what does that change kind of meant for you type thing?
Oh well, for us, there's been a development. The major one, we can go back in history later, but the major one is 2012. When the Olympics came here, there was kind of a gentrification, let's just call it, where a lot of places got shut down, a lot of places have been changed, and a lot of people have been moved out, which has been a positive in terms of like the culture of gangs and stuff like that. A lot of bad people have been put in prison or moved out of their area, which allowed there to be safe spaces and stuff like that for kids and stuff like that, because this area has had like a high crime and stuff like that over the years. But I mean, mainly in terms of this building changing, it kind of changed it in a way where there wasn't much to go in terms of partying and stuff like that. We might go and see, but there's two little bars down the road, rooftop bar, and there's another one I'll show you. I can't remember the name of it, but other than that, there's never been like a club like this that's for my generation and stuff like that. We've always gone to Shoreditch and gone out there to go drinking. But as I was talking about the Westfield, as that opened up, we've had Aspers, we've had ping pong ball, which are more, casino or like the ping pong places. You play games and stuff like that.
So it kind of serves a different clientele, right?
It's a different clientele. a different kind of demographic group and stuff like that. Obviously, the Zap space now is obviously for kids. No, adults, if you want to go, you go. Jump on them trampolines. But often, like, you see a lot of families go there and stuff like that. We've also got something we might walk past, Discovery, where you've got little kids that go there and stuff like that. So you've got a mixture of different things now, which is the beauty of Stratford, that there is an element for everybody.
Yeah. So, yeah, as you said, we're going to kind of literally go down the high street, and, like, you've got loads of memories, I've got loads of memories. Some I may not want to publish, but screw it, we're going to kind of talk about them anyway. Just on that Discovery, I think, did you say you used to go to that place as a child as well?
Yeah. So in Discovery, you had like a lot of artistic... Ask the question again.
So Discovery, we're going to walk past. Did you go there as a child, or like what did it mean for you as a child? Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So I went there as a kid. Taught my sister and my little brother at different times. I was the first one to go. It was an artistic place, man. You used to go and draw, and I've always been interested in that. It was kind of a place where in the summertime my mum could take us and we could have like a little rest from the house and stuff like that.
We clearly had different experiences, because I was just saying, innit, that I went to Rokeby School for my summer activities, which back then, Rokeby School wasn't a very nice place. It was a bit tough. So we didn't have as many creative activities going.
Yeah. No, I bet that. I've got a lot of friends and stuff like that went Rokeby, and that's always been a part of this area as well. Your school. It's now 21, School 21.
Yeah. Do you know the founders of that are Chase and Status? Oh. Yeah, the music producers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, drum and bass music producers.
Yeah.
So I suppose that creative element is still there. It's just not as visible. Maybe we need to make it more visible. No,
definitely. Like, East London has a lot of music heritage and stuff like that. We've have good and bad, and you know, got Kano that comes from down Bow way, just 5 minutes away. You have Wiley,
D-double,
too
many. And that's going to be another episode in itself.
No, definitely. So we have a like culture of music. We've got a lot of underground scene that did come from area called Stratford Green. That was like old school early rap. You had a tune called ST, and it was basically a Stratford gang kind of like music video that was from Stratford Green and Chad Green, which is Plasto. And as a kid growing up, you used to know kind of the artists and stuff like that, and none of them have got big in it like now.
No, but you know, in an interesting way, for me,
history.
and that's important for like roots and knowing where you are, in a sense of like pride almost, because if you don't have that, almost a little bit like it's hard to have a definition of who you are and then who you want to be, particularly in London, like such a bit of a mad place, and if you don't have your own character and definition, which is what SG kind of gave to us a little bit.
Yeah, it did, and it's had such a big history. I've talked to so many different like old school guys, and they've seen the development on the different kinds of people that have come to obviously this part of the area, and they've gone from the marketplace being a really big area that had supported a lot of people. One of my neighbours is in the market now. He does flowers, he does a burger stall and stuff like that, and does Christmas trees as well outside the station. I live with him, and he's told me a lot about the area, also the war history. This area was heavily bombed
during the Blitz.
During the Blitz. My school, West Ham Church School, is not too far away, was bombed. It luckily didn't hit because it was next to the church, so it was kind of noticed by the Germans and hit. And we actually found a fragment of a bomb in my school. Me and my mate Ian, because we used to like digging for rocks, and we were digging around our school, and we found it, and it was boxed away as well.
You didn't get to keep it?
No, it didn't. It was like the history for the school as well. Wow. I didn't really want to take it, but it was quite interesting. We didn't really know what it was at first, to be honest. We just thought it was a bit of metal, but when we took a lot of the stuff to our teacher, they kind of like was a bit more like, oh wow, this could be
proper like bomb fragments.
And so that's quite interesting. And as I was talking about the culture and how things change, I mean, you have different kind of migrations of different kind of people. So you have a lot of the Caribbean earlier. Now you have different Romanian people coming.
And we had like Jewish people, way beforehand.
So there's like a progression. This street is actually one of the streets where a lot of the Eastern Europeans actually deliver and go home. So you see a lot of coaches and stuff like that where they'll bring stuff back home and stuff like that. So you always had this immigrant kind of vibe about this area. It's always got fresh, different faces. Obviously, Newham is one of the most multicultural boroughs in London, and London is one of the most multicultural cities of the world. This is one of the most multicultural places in the world, you could say. And it's been amazing for me to be in that culture because it allowed me through school, through my friends, to be, connecting with many different kind of, Muslims, Africans. I'm Caribbean myself. Eastern Europeans, Indians, and growing up, you see the curries and the jollof rice or the, bangers and mash, and my friends used to take me to the chicken chip shop and stuff like that, and, but you had so much history and culture that kind of like made me who I am and made, Stratford who it is, which is why I think we was talking about the Olympics, where it's so amazing for it to come here. Just being multicultural and being an area that in the end did get run down. It had low unemployment and stuff like that. There wasn't much going on here. And when 2012 happened, there was like a rebuild. A lot of the buildings,
regeneration, literally.
We've got flats. We've got the Westfield, which opened up a whole lot of jobs for young people here. It brought different foods and different restaurants down to this area. So like it's so easy for us to now go out with the family, and families go to shop and stuff like that. And then as I said, like there's a lot of employment. There's like over 300 shops there. It's one of the biggest Westfields in Europe. It's seen at different stages, and
it's seen
you can
lots
see
of
the
change.
Different buildings and stuff like that we will go through in the future.
So should we go down the road and have a look at more shops? Yeah, do you want to count us in?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, EastEnders effect.
There we go.
Hi. So we've come to this amazing spot. This is
pretty much the heart of the Stratford High Street.
This is the heart of Stratford High Street. This is where the town hall is. I've got so many history there. From a kid, I've got weddings. I've had Independence Days and stuff like that. It's moved from there to there.
I've had about 5 different weddings there. A funeral, wake thing.
Yeah. As a kid, I've got into the choir from West End Church School. We did an event for Christmas here, and I remember just being in our gowns and stuff like that. That was kind of the first time I went there. And then also later in life, in secondary school, I went and did a music group with my friends called Vox, which is Latin for one voice. We thought we were cool at that.
Latin is
Latin
is cool to some people.
Yeah. And we went there, did events like youth events and stuff like that, which was kind of really cool, and kind of holds that place in my heart where I've had like even political events there with the council and stuff like that. Talked to the mayor. I've talked to like my parents, but my parents' family. Sorry, cut that bit out. I kind of got mixed up there. Sorry, my auntie and my uncle are both councillors, and they basically are held events and stuff like that, which has been about the youth and how to help and stuff like that. It was really nice during COVID. I did some help here, so we were giving out foods to the vulnerable and stuff like that. This was like the depot where everybody came and kind of collected the items for delivery, and we went out.
My church was also involved. So the church I was going to at the time was in Canning Town. So a lot of we had a smaller hub there, but stuff that couldn't fit in here we held in Canning Town as well. We helped kind of div out. It speaks to that kind of East London effect of community and like wanting to be there for each other. You said your family are counsellors as well. People in your family were counsellors. Everyone's got such a vested interest in our area and what we are.
We do. The people that are in Stratford still love Stratford. I would say that because again, I was saying during 2012, obviously a lot of the prices and stuff like that got, you know, higher. So a lot of people got kicked out and moved out because it's just so expensive. So the people that are here are true East Londoners, that they'll live and die here. And
do you think that do you think Westfield actually kind of brought people closer together? Because even like this high street is still here. You were talking about the Chinese shop that was there since you were born. I was talking about the Halifax shop that my mum, you know, that was our first bank, and it moved about. Anyway, so the high street is still here. And do you think the fact that there was like a competitor that then galvanised people a little bit, and we were like, you know, like we're going to still keep what was true to us type thing?
Yeah, well, I would definitely say like the market, in Broadway Market, that's always been open. And it's been different, it's changed all the time. You got different foods, different kind of, you know, little stores, and so that's always been there. But to your point, we have seen a lot of people that have been here for a long time stay, but we've seen a lot of change. Some of that change has been really good as well. Because of Westwood and it being a competitor for this kind of specific area, it's kind of also brought it up, because there's been things that have been taken away. Certain stores, like we used to have a Peacock's here, that was like one of the main stores.
We used to have a co-op as well.
Yeah, we had a co-op, we had we had a Blue Ink back in the day. But these have changed, you know, because you've got H&M, Zara now, you've got loads of the big stores in Westfield. But what has come back is like more meat shops, a new meat shop been opened. So we have,
and then also like the ones for the different ethnic groups, like the Eastern European market shops.
So you have Westfield, which is like kind of that big corporate companies, but then you got like smaller opportunities for smaller companies now. You've got something called the in shops, which is a small inner part of this old centre where you've got little shops, where you've got people that can do something from your phone, give you a piercing, you know, do your nails,
your nails, your keys.
Exactly. So there's little, and that's been there for so long. An old shop that I love is, and everybody I know all my age, is this old Chinese shop there. And we might as well talk about this one being the one, because they used to do, they still do, curry chips. And I used to get this every possible time I could get it. Like I would ask my mum, and even now as a grown man, I will go and get my curry and chips.
I remember passing it, because it was Quick Save, I think, that were there as well. And unfortunately, it was out of my mum's budget at the time. So I always looked wistfully like, I wish I could get it.
Yeah.
No, everyone knows that one. And talking about the competition of Westfield, actually, like, this place has been competing trade-wise for a long time. Like, so going back, I think you're talking about Roman Road and some of that history.
So this is one of the main roads that links to Roman Road, which is literally just up this road, past the Nando's and the church that we have here. And that actual road was built from the Roman times, basically linking London to Colchester. It was one of the main roads.
One of the main trade routes.
Trade routes, yeah. This area, when it started, was a lot of farmland. There was like potatoes and a lot of vegetation. We still have a lot of one of the history pieces in Abbey Road Station. It's a little allotment that used to be there, and you've got imagery and some history, and I've read that quite a few times. And that is like the last little patch of farm that Stratford used to have, like from the old days, basically. And now it's like a local allotment and
gardens,
gardens. And
so my daughter's first birthday was there.
Oh wow!
In the summer.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
it's still a community space.
Yeah, exactly. So like that's like the old pieces that have been part of the community. Going on, like the area develops in the industrial side. We had a lot of industrial factories and stuff like that. Now where Liverpool Westwood is. We had, obviously, during the war, there was a lot of manufacturing of different war parts and stuff like that. So this was involved
Stratford was such a massive help in the war effort back then. Yeah. But, you know, talking about my daughter, unfortunately, I got to pick her up from nursery. Yeah. And I know that there was, like, the Muriel back there, the church. There was a couple of pubs we wanted to touch on. So we're going to definitely do a part two, because there's just too much to get in, like, one episode.
No, definitely, man. Thank you for coming and watching us, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon, part two.